may be transcendently angry or upset with me, I can never leave his heart. So this is a position of a pure devotee, and pure devotees are very rare, very special, very special. Um, and ultimately, when we speak about any woman's beauty, then how can we avoid thinking of Srimati Radharani? Because ultimately, all the beauty in the world finds its shelter at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. So we can think of our Radha Gopishna Vallabh, how Radharani's transcendental form is very attractive and very pure. And ultimately, mm, the reason why Srimati Radharani is glorified so much is because of her intense service attitude. So everything about Srimati Radharani is meant for Krishna's absolute pleasure. So it is said that Srimati Radharani's eyes keep moving to and fro like chakora birds in order to attract Krishna's attention. And today, primarily, we'll be talking about uh, the beauty of the heart, and specifically about the compassionate mood of Srimati Radharani. Srila Rupa Goswami mentions that how Srimati Radharani takes a bath every day in the nectar of compassion, the nectar of mercy. And that's why this mercy is distributed to everyone in Vrindavan, to the trees, to the plants, to the elders, to everyone. Radharani's compassion is very attractive, and that's what makes Vrindavan attractive. Why is Vrindavan attractive? Simply because of Radharani's intense compassion for her devotees, and that includes everyone in Vrindavan. There's a picture actually. Radharani even feeds the um, swans, feeds the birds. So she loves everyone. And that same love that she feels for Krishna, the same loving reciprocation she feels from Krishna, she distributes to all the living entities in Vrindavan. And that's why Vrindavan is so attractive. And that's why Krishna can never leave Vrindavan. And that's why wherever Krishna sees in Vrindavan, he is always reminded of Srimati Radharani. So this is just a little glorification of Srimati Radharani. Please forgive me, I'm not qualified, but when you speak about womanly beauty, then that's the meditation for devotees. So Srimati Radharani, out of her causeless mercy, she has displayed that compassion through Navadvip Dham. And Navadvip Dham, that's why it's so attractive. Mahaprabhu is so attractive because of his intense compassion. So, see, why is Gaur Leela so attractive? Because of the heart of the devotees. See, the main character of a devotee, the most important character of a devotee is a devotee's humility. So, this humble mood of a devotee is the most attractive quality of a devotee because it shows how much a devotee is very eager, extremely eager to serve Krishna. And that eagerness actually translates into humility. That eagerness translates into service attitude. That eagerness ultimately translates into gravity, into silence. So that eagerness is what gives birth to all the qualities of a devotee. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we can see in Mahaprabhu's pastimes that how Mahaprabhu melted the hearts of the devotees with his compassion. Like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to this devotee This is a very wonderful example. This devotee who was reading Bhagavad Gita, even though he was illiterate. He was reading Bhagavad Gita. He was feeling himself very, very unqualified. And still he was reading by the order of his spiritual master. So this feeling of that I am not qualified is very, very attractive to Krishna. And even though all the other persons, they were making fun, although they were ridiculing, um, but Krishna became very attracted to him. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this devotee who was trying to read Bhagavad Gita, South Indian Brahmana, and he said he saw that this devotee had tears in his eyes. So same thing we can connect how Prabhupada's eyes were always wet, always had tears in them. So anyhow, um, this devotee was crying constantly because of his love for Krishna. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, so Mahaprabhu, so simple, Mahaprabhu asked him, so you're reading Bhagavad Gita? Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopi Janavallabh Gop Shri Nitai Pataman Kaura Hari Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah. So, oh, you're reading Bhagavad Gita? He said, yes. So, are you able to understand? He said, actually, I cannot understand, whatever language it was written in. I'm an illiterate person. Mahaprabhu said, oh, but how is it that you're reading and how is it that you have tears in your eyes? So this devotee said that just by seeing the photo of Krishna uh, drawing the chariot or driving the chariot for Arjuna, my heart melts because I cannot believe how compassionate the Lord is. So this is the nature of mercy. So when one feels himself very unqualified, very, very unqualified, but at the same time, he continues his service uh, with a humble mood, with a very tolerant mood, thinking that all previous sins and karmas are coming to him in the form of his lack of taste in Krishna consciousness. So in that humble mood, when he continues his devotional service with mind, body, and heart, he offers his obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in that consciousness, one attracts the attention of Krishna. So how do we get Krishna's attention? How do you attract Krishna's attention? We attract it through the form of Guru. So although here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but here he's playing the role of Guru. So he comes to that devotee and he appreciates that devotee, and in that way he empowers that devotee who was reading Bhagavad Gita. He empowers him, he becomes empowered to spread Krishna consciousness. So ultimately all the beauty, all the sweetness, all the power, all the renunciation, all the knowledge is simply contained in a speck of dust at the lotus feet of the spiritual master. And here Devahuti is exhibiting her beauty before Kardamuni. So the real ornament of a devotee, a disciple, is his faith, his loyalty, and his sincerity towards the spiritual master. And everything is done simply by the pleasure of the spiritual master. Everything is achieved. That is the only way it happens. So we may not understand how things are going on the gross platform, but on the subtle platform, to the extent that Srila Prabhupada and the spiritual master are pleased, to that extent we can manifest, Krishna manifests, Bhakti manifests in the core of our heart. So how do we become attracted Because ultimately, if we try, if we are very sincere and very serious, and we really try to serve the spiritual master, um, then we will achieve all perfection. Even if we try, that's the thing. Even if we put little endeavor, uh, we will be very, very successful. 100% successful we will be. Even if we just endeavor very seriously and sincerely, we'll get all perfection. So how can we sincerely endeavor, sincerely put our heart in the service of Guru, which means in the service of ISKCON? How can we do that? It's only possible when we become intensely attracted to Guru, to Sadhu. It's only possible. How do we become intensely attracted? Attraction starts by hearing. So when we become very attracted, Tadeva Ramyam Ruchiram Navam Navam, Tadeva Shashran Manaso Mahotsavam. Like the other day, Lanat Maharaj was speaking, it was like a festival. It was a festival, and like I didn't know where I was, I didn't know what time it was. It was just a completely different reality. And the only unfortunate thing was that the class ended. So um, how does a guru attract through his katha? Now, what does he provide in his katha? What he provides in his katha is three things. Snigdha. He offers his soft heart. Like he offers his soft heart, shelter in his soft heart, and the conditioned soul feels a lot of relief. Uh, Snigdha Swajatiya. So the devotee, he feels that, oh, this person can relate with me because uh, he can think in my terms. The way I am thinking, the way my life is going on, he can think in that way. Therefore, I feel very connected. So, like-minded, and also a pure devotee, a pure devotee, a sadhu has the ability to actually manifest that devotee's specific attraction for Krishna. Only a pure devotee can do that. So it's like a pure devotee, he pulls uh, a particular associate from the spiritual world who is in the same mood with this devotee and connects him. That Vani actually helps to make that connection. And as a result of that, this devotee now has a deeper appreciation for Krishna. So, like-minded, pure devotee has that ability. So, first is very soft heart and like-minded. And third, of course, is his realizations, his words are far more exalted on a higher platform. So, like one time a spiritual master was confidentially telling a devotee that when the spiritual master goes to sleep, when a spiritual master guru goes to sleep, was telling confidentially that he is not in mode of ignorance. He goes into conference or he goes into intimate association with Krishna. So from this kind of words, this kind of experiences, we can understand that they are far more advanced, or completely self-realized. So through these three ways, the spiritual master actually attracts the heart. Guru or sadhu attracts the heart of a conditioned soul and offers him shelter, offers him happiness. And unless you feel happy, unless you feel attracted, like here, unless there is attraction. So attraction, when you become attracted to something beautiful, but the real beauty is purity. The real beauty is compassion. The real beauty is love for Krishna. So when you become attracted by that, then you can surrender. And then you start hearing with a desire to carry out the instructions. And just by the intense desire to carry out those instructions, one becomes successful in spiritual life. So that eagerness to carry out the instructions meets with the mercy from Guru to actually carry out those instructions. And by that, one's life becomes successful. So again, another amazing example in Gaur Leela. Gaur Leela has so many amazing examples is of Maharaj Prataparudra. Maharaj Prataparudra was a great king of Jagannath Puri, and is a genuine devotee of Lord Jagannath. And naturally, when he would walk, people would take the dust from his feet because he's a pure devotee. So, as he would walk, they would take the dust from his lotus feet. And that same devotee, this king, just because he wanted the audience of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was willing to give up his kingdom, he was willing to give up his position and just beg, become a pauper, become a beggar. So that really shows his service attitude. So a devotee has extreme love for Krishna and for Krishna's devotees. And this love for Krishna's devotees is expressed by his service attitude. So devotee service attitude is his real ornament. So Maharaj Prataparudra had such a service attitude. He served all the devotees. He made arrangements for their stay. He gave Ramananda Roy so much pension even after his retirement. And he supported all the devotees. He arranged for Mahaprabhu's stay. And like this, he served all the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But at the same time, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't give him mercy, then Maharaj Prataparudra did not become angry. Rather, he looked at his own character, and even though his character is spotless, but he found faults in himself and just blamed himself uh, for not getting the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as a result of this humility, this undeserving feeling, even in the presence of so much qualification, even though he was so qualified, because he felt that he didn't deserve anything, that's why he got the special mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him that special service that only given to Ramananda Roy and Swarup Damodar in confidence. Mahaprabhu gave that service to him of singing Gopi Geet. So that is the extraordinary mercy of the Lord, and that is given to a person who engages himself day and night in the service, especially of the Lord's devotees, and always feels very undeserving, very undeserving. That is what invokes compassion, and that is love. Those on the platform of love always feel that they don't deserve. Like Srimati Radharani always has this feeling that she's not doing enough. She's not serving enough. She doesn't love Krishna enough. So this mood of incompleteness is the very root of realization in bhakti. And again, on the platform of spontaneous affection, it's natural, it's spontaneous, but on the Vaidhi stage, it has to be cultivated. It has to be cultivated slowly and slowly, it has to be cultivated. And it can be cultivated only by the mercy of devotees. How does one rise from um, just Vaidhi doing it for the sake of doing to doing it on the platform of appreciation, spontaneous appreciation? I'm not qualified, but I'm speaking what I've heard. So the way one rises from the regulative practice to the spontaneous practice is by the mercy of devotees only, only. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. Like look at Maharaj Prataparudra. By his example, he's showing that only by the mercy of devotees we can get the mercy of the Lord. Now, who is Maharaj Prataparudra? Maharaj Prataparudra is a pure devotee, a great king. And he did so much service. So, what is my condition? What is my situation? So, the more and more one serves the devotees are very important. That's why Prabhupada says that's the difference between a Kanishta Adhikari and a Madhyama Adhikari. Madhyama Adhikari, he understands the importance of devotees. So, of course, it doesn't mean that You understand the importance of devotees, you become Madhyamadikari, but at least we're going towards Madhyamadikar. So what does it mean to understand devotees? It means to understand the importance of serving them and sincerely depending on their blessings in the core of the heart. Having full faith, this is very important. Like some of you have accepted initiation, it's very wonderful that you have accepted initiation from such a Siddha Mahatma. But the point is that uh, that unless we serve the devotees, and most important thing is, I'm speaking for myself again, is that after we accept Guru, we must have unflinching faith. Unflinching faith means that in bhakti, we first of all, when we come to bhakti, we know that we have no way to verify experience by our own intelligence. We just can't do it. We can't look at Krishna on the altar and try to prove that he is Krishna to our mind. We just can't do it because we don't have that vision. What we can do, we can have faith. Okay, this is Krishna. Prabhupada says this is Krishna, Guru says Krishna. So let me serve Krishna. And then Krishna will reveal. So this is the same principle with Guru also. So we put full faith in Guru's instructions. We put full faith in Guru's instructions, full faith in Guru's words, that this is absolute truth. This is absolute truth. And then we realize it. That's all. There's no role of material intelligence here. And then after we get realized, after we get purified, then we'll actually develop spiritual intelligence. Of course, there is theoretical spiritual intelligence, but real spiritual intelligence is realized. It's not mentally or intellectually conjectured or mentally arranged, but it's actually realized. That's real spiritual intelligence. So that's when we actually have it. So anyway, the point is that we have to have develop unflinching faith. So of course, this is a very high principle, but everything, even something very high, can always be applied to the lower stages also. So in the 8th verse of Nectar of Instruction, Prabhupada speaks about Varana Dasha. Varana Dasha means actually it's a very high stage of devotional service, stage of acceptance. So first Shravana Dasha, then Varana Dasha. So Varana Dasha means accepting. So if you want to have unflinching faith in Guru, then you have to hear. So by hearing repeatedly again and again over a period of time as you experience, then you can accept wholeheartedly. Now, after you accept, then you can execute. So that's why it's so important that we have to have unflinching faith in the words of the spiritual master. That's very important. And actually, that's the real aspect of Guru. I mean, this is just my realization. Those people who follow Guru's Vani very strictly, Guru goes behind them. Simple. Because see, what is Guru's business? Guru's business is to help the devotee, the disciple, to follow his instructions. Because his instructions are where his real spiritual form, his real spiritual service, everything is situated in his instructions. This is true with anyone. This is true with Srila Prabhupada. So if we wholeheartedly embrace the instructions of the spiritual master and carry out those instructions, then according to Srila Prabhupada, the Prabhupada's example, then will the spiritual master will always be there with us. Will always have his transcendental association. And the most important thing is that to have the transcendental association of the spiritual master means that you are inspired by him. That's not easy. We cannot govern, we cannot decide, we cannot order this, that whenever we hear Guru, we have to be inspired by him. And I'm not on that platform. But if one follows the instructions very sincerely all the time, and he's always anxious, he's always worried that, oh, I have accepted Guru now. Am I following? Am I following? Am I following? So this constant anxiety, even in the midst of so much calamity, if he has this anxiety to please the spiritual master, then that anxiety will please the spiritual master. That anxiety will make the Guru more and more attractive to him. So if you become attracted to Guru, like when you see a picture of Guru, when you hear from Guru, if you feel very much attracted, you feel very much drawn towards him, then naturally it becomes so much easier to follow what he says, right? It, it's so much easier to put unflinching faith in what he's saying, because by Krishna's mercy, you are able to realize his greatness. So, and again, by a real devotee, a real disciple, he will recognize wherever purity is there. He will not be sectarian. Like in our movement, we are not sectarian. We are not like uh, just disciples of our Guru. We are actually part of um, Mahaprabhu's family. And just like in Mahaprabhu's family, different people have different positions, but they're all pure devotees and they all live together in a loving community. And everyone has his role. Like, for example, Raghunadas Goswami, he got something. He got something from, his main training was Swarup Damodar. Then he got so much from Rupa Goswami. He got something from Haridas Thakur and Advaita Acharya. He got from so many devotees, he got different aspects of devotional service. So, although Guru is one, but Guru is many. And you see in the example of so many pure devotees that they took instruction from multiple places. Of course, within ISKCON, we have so many examples, like different devotees exemplify different aspects of Srila Prabhupada's greatness. And when we take instruction from different places, all part of Srila Prabhupada's family, then we get nourished. And that's why we should not think that, oh, if I hear from this spiritual master, just because he's not my guru, then, like I'm disloyal to my guru, or you shouldn't be sectarian. That's sectarian. Sectarian mentality means material vision or narrow-minded, basically narrow-minded. So it's almost like saying, like if this Yoga Prabhu says that, oh, my guru is only pure devotee. So when we have this open vision, and this is Guru's mercy, when we have Guru's mercy, we'll have this open-minded vision, and we will be able to draw inspiration from different places. And ultimately, we want to draw inspiration from everyone. We want to see everyone as a pure devotee. We want to have that vision. That is our goal. We want to have that vision, because when we develop that vision, only then we can not desire respect from anyone. Because eternally, constitutionally, everyone is a pure devotee. It's just a matter of having the consciousness to recognize that, yes, they are a pure devotee, and the only thing which is separating them is some little material contamination. Just like if someone is very hearty and healthy, and they have some dirty cloth on, it doesn't really make that much difference to us, because it's just a matter of time that person will take a shower and put some clean cloth on himself. So this is Mahaprabhu's amazing community, amazing society, that Mahaprabhu has given us this amazing community with everyone is so compassionate, and we should also be in this mood of giving mercy to people. I'm not qualified. We are not qualified, you can say. We don't feel qualified, but we're distributing Mahaprabhu's mercy, and we should not judge devotees, and we should not think that, oh, this devotee is not qualified. This devotee, we should not think like that. We should always try to help, should always try to encourage, because that is Mahaprabhu's mood. This is ISKCON's mood. If we judge others, we'll be judged. So if we want to make quick progress in Krishna consciousness, then Krishna will see our mood, our disposition to other devotees. And if we can manifest this very humble, undeserving mood that I don't deserve, I don't deserve, I don't deserve. If we are in that mood, then we will get a lot of mercy from Krishna. And more importantly, we'll get a lot of mercy from the devotees of Krishna. And that is what we want. If everyone is thinking in a good way, in a positive way about us, then our life is perfect, because the blessings of all the devotees will constantly help us to get newer and newer realizations in Krishna consciousness. So the goal of our life is to please devotees, is to get the mercy of devotees. And the way we can get the mercy of devotees is by increasing our sadhana, by increasing our hearing, our chanting. So when our consciousness becomes pleasing to them, when our mood becomes pleasing to them, then they will shower their mercy. And of course, the way we express our love for the devotees is by serving them, So when we have this intense desire to serve devotees more and more and more, then Krishna becomes very, very pleased with us. And ultimately, the goal of life is to develop a beautiful character. And that's what is attractive to people. Physical beauty is temporary, physical beauty is physical. But real beauty is the beauty of the heart, is the beauty of the heart. So the goal of life is to become a pure devotee, to develop love of God, and to develop a beautiful character, so that the Lord will be attracted to that. The Lord will be attracted to that. So please forgive me if I spoke anything wrong, inappropriate, very unqualified, but I'm simply begging the mercy of all the devotees, so that I can, in some humble way, I can receive blessings from devotees, receive mercy from devotees. So by Vaishnav Seva, we get Nam Ruchi, and on the strength of Nam Ruchi, we can assist in Jiva Doya. So that is the goal of life. Anyone has any question or comment?
Very nice class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
It was a very wonderful class. I just have one question. How can I get your mercy?
So why this kind of questions?
Prabhu, you said mercy should be distributed. So now I'm utilizing this opportunity to ask you this question directly here.
Yeah, I don't have any mercy, Prabhu, but only by your tolerance and your mercy that I'm still here. So thank you for tolerating.
That you didn't mention in the class, that Prabhu, mercy has to be vice versa. Like one person has to give, the other person has to give. That is unconditional, Prabhu. So you have to give it unconditionally. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, really, really wonderful class. And I mean, so many reflection. I can personally also ask some question, but now my quick question to you is that you said regulative principles of bhakti, then when they get converted into spontaneity, in our life, only devotees mercy, only devotees mercy.
Yes.
3 times you says. But
Yes.
Prabhuji, the question is that, when we serve the senior devotee or authority, there are 2 types of services. One is their instructions, and we are following their instructions. And one, we strive to do their, as Devadrita Prabhu was asking, we also try to do some personal service for you, but senior devotee never allow us to do that. Then is that instruction itself is greater than that personal service, or they are as good as that personal service? But how we'll get personal service? Because they always deny, when we want to do some personal service.
Yeah, I'm not a devotee, but when you speak about senior devotees, I speak about like those who are free from anarthas. So those are very exalted. So I feel the greatest personal service to a pure devotee is to hear his Vani very, very attentively. That's the greatest service you can do to him, because that's what he lives for. He lives for his instructions. So when you hear those instructions very, very attentively and great eagerness, that is the greatest service. And that's why Prabhupada said, no, you're hearing nectar of devotion means associating with Rupa Goswami, you're following the instructions of, you're trying to execute these instructions. That means you're serving his lotus feet. So that is the greatest service you can do to, any exalted or pure devotee, is to follow the instructions. So if you follow a pure devotee's instructions, then naturally a pure devotee will become very attracted to you, and a pure devotee will give you a lot of sangha. Now, again, when you speak about pure devotee, it's not limited to guru, but it's a global principle. So it's like uh, naturally sadhus will become very attracted to you because you have that mood, and they'll give you lot of sangha, lot of mercy. So yeah, the most important thing is the instructions. That's the most important thing. And personal service is good, um, but at the same time we see in today's movement, personal service, yes, gives all perfection, but you see in today's movement how rare that personal service is. So those are very exalted. One thing is, yeah, they don't like to accept service um, because that's just their nature. And the other problem is also that because they are traveling and we cannot travel with them, we cannot go wherever they're going, like we don't have that capability, so we cannot really serve them. And the third most important thing is that we are part of a mission. So mm, the purpose of our life is to serve this mission. So the personal service is actually service to the mission. The real personal service is service to the mission. So that's why it becomes very important to become conscious of mission. And even if we are not able to serve a pure devotee, but when we serve his mission, when we try to serve Prabhupada in his mood, then we get his mercy, whether we see him, whether we know him, even if we may not know him also, but we will get his mercy. So yeah, Vani is very, very important. Is that okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Prabhuji, one.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, please. Very sorry, Prabhuji.
No, go ahead, Mataji. I will ask him personally, actually, when I will meet today. Go ahead, Mataji. Sorry.
No, Prabhuji, please go ahead. We will also get benefited. Please ask.
No, actually, it was very personal, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Mataji. Sorry.
So, Prabhuji, I just wanted to say, like when you said in the beginning of the class that this verse is very difficult, I opened the verse and I was thinking, Arey, this verse has like the translation, the purport. There is nothing. How is this a difficult verse? How to understand that? So thank you, Prabhuji, for reinstating again that, in Srimad Bhagavatam, nothing is actually simple, but everything, when we hear from the perspective of pure devotees, we gain a lot of insight. So thank you for giving such a nice class, Prabhuji. Very instructive class today. Very grateful.
All glories to all of you, and that's why I'm able to speak. Yeah, I'm very grateful to Yugshop Prabhu and very grateful to Radha Govind Vallabh that by their arrangement, transcendental arrangement, Maharaj came here and gave so much mercy, and in the form of, especially in the form of his Bani, which is very, very divine, very attractive, and the best way to attract pure devotees is by praying to our deities, because they're very merciful and they can, especially Prabhupada, they can make any arrangement. So again, please forgive me if I spoke anything wrong, inappropriate. You're all far more exalted than me. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्री
Jai.
की जय।
His Great Sham Kishore Prabhu ki jai.
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Gone.
Prabhu. Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavarpana.